ESPN 1420, ESPN1420.com. I almost said good morning because I'm so used to being on the air in the morning. It's good evening, everybody. Welcome back into the Acadiana Postgame Coaches Show. We are live from the Mellow Mushroom, corner of Johnson Street and Ducey Road. We do it each and every Monday evening. Our featured school this evening, the Teurlings Catholic Rebels. Want to welcome them into the house. In just a few minutes, going to be speaking with the head football coach of Teurlings Catholic, Coach Sonny Charpentier. Also have a player, Zeb Burley, offensive guard, going to be talking to us here in just a little bit. But I want to welcome in right now the principal of Teurlings Catholic, Principal Mike Boyer. And number one, see, I've been told by some principals, believe it or not, they say they prefer to be referred to as Principal X. You know what I'm saying? Kind of like Principal Smith. Or just for official purposes, am I supposed to address you like that?
Oh, no, Mike is just fine.
Well, yeah, okay.
I've been called much worse.
There's so much excitement right now going around at Teurlings, not only with football, but with the entire athletic department. I mean, you've had such success in boys and girls basketball and baseball and softball, through the years. I know that, football is kind of like the driving force of everything, but you got to be really proud of what the entire athletic department has accomplished there.
No, I mean, we are extremely proud of what our athletic department does, and within our athletic department, it includes our cheerleaders and dancers, and
right.
They are, nationally ranked. They do some great things, and it's just a given. Athletics is the front porch of your school. To be able to get people into the front porch to see what's inside, that's important. And we've got some great things going on at Teurlings. It's the largest enrollment we've ever had in the school history. It's the 3 years in a row, the largest freshman class ever. We'll be over 820 students next year, which is obviously another high for the school. And we're in the process of building 8 classrooms, additional classrooms on campus, and we're clearing 8.8 acres of land to expand some of the facilities. So, every day it's a great day, and things are happening, and things are happening in a very positive way.
That new football stadium, and it still is, relatively new. Has it been everything that you hoped and thought it would be?
Well, it has. We put a lot of thought into it. I use Sonny's expertise as a football coach. I've spent many an hour in the press box, and we wanted that to be just right. And I think everything we've done at the stadium and the additional Burley building that was just built, given to us, sets us in this area as having the finest package that there is, because our package is with our baseball field and our softball field. We're sharing some facilities, so we're extremely proud of what we have.
This is a sports station, and I'm a sports guy, so it might be kind of easy for me to say, but I think sports adds so much to a youngster's life. You talk about extracurricular activities, and it deals not only with football, but as you mentioned, the dance team and the cheerleaders and whatnot. And sports can be great camaraderie for the students, and especially if there's a winning program. Now, obviously, somebody has to lose as well, but when you got a winning program, it develops so much of school pride, and I just think so many memories are instilled, and I just think that athletics provides just such great excitement and great memories for high school students.
Well, and certainly our students take advantage of that on campus. We average every year between 65 and 70% of our students are actively involved, or at least signed up with the LHSAA as a competing athlete. And you add the large squads we have with cheerleaders and dancers, so it's a tremendous number. When we only had 400 students, that number was small. Now we've got almost 800 students, and you're talking about 500 plus that are active participants in our athletic program, which is, like I said, we include the cheerleaders and the dancers.
No doubt about it. Now, tell me a little bit about this gentleman that I'm going to be speaking with next, Coach Sonny Charpentier. I mean, I know how good of a coach he is, both in terms of basketball and in football. What makes him, in your words, so successful and so special to Teurlings?
Well, what makes him special, I think, is his upbringing. He's from Hanson Memorial. He was coached by one of the all-time greats, Richard McCloskey, who was at one point in time the winningest coach in Louisiana. I was a young coach at E.D. White and Thibodeau, and Sonny was a potential, as he is, a Hall of Fame at Nicholls State. And we knew each other, and we coached against each other several times. When I was at St. Thomas More, he was at Teurlings, and I've always thought he handled himself very well, carried himself very well. Coaches as Coach McCloskey did. He coaches like a family man, and when I had the opportunity to come to Teurlings and I knew Sonny was there, I mean, it was a very easy decision for me to go into a principalship with somebody that I was very familiar with and somebody that I understood what they were expecting of their athletic program and their athletes. And we've been there 19 years together, and it's been a really good fit.
No doubt about it. Mike, appreciate you coming over here tonight. Thanks for bringing the Teurlings fans here. We wish you continued success down the road.
Well, CVP, we really thank what you do for high school sports in our area. Thank you very much.
Appreciate you. Mike Boyer, Teurlings Catholic principal, join us here this evening. I want to welcome in now Teurlings Catholic head football coach Sonny Charpentier. And, Coach, certainly we're going to talk about your team this year and the success that this team is having, and an opportunity for this group to go deep into the playoffs. But let me ask you a few personal questions. If you weren't coaching right now, what do you think you'd be doing?
I'd be enjoying my grandkids a lot more. We just had
That's a good answer.
We just had a 6th this week.
Wow! Congratulations.
Our first little girl, Mia Rose. So I think that's what I'd be doing, trying to enjoy them a lot more, because time goes by too fast. But
no doubt,
I can't see myself not doing this for a little while longer, because I don't have a lot of hobbies, and I look at this as an opportunity to be around young people, which keeps you kind of young, and still enjoy it.
No doubt. Give me some of the coaches, whether it be Coach McCloskey or somebody that has had a big effect on your coaching style, not only in football, but just in basketball, or going back to your high school days. Can you come up with a couple of names?
I played for a man at Nichols named Don Landry, who he might not have been the greatest X and O guy, coach, but he sure did things the right way, and he was a gentleman, and treated us all, equally, as fair as possible. And I learned a lot from him those 4 years I was there, and he was also an athletic director. It was back then. But Coach McCloskey probably is the most important driving influence in my career as far as coaching is concerned. I was able to coach with him for 2 years right out of college, and it might have been 2 best years of my coaching career. So I'd have to say he's at the top.
You've been a fixture at Teurlings for a number of years, both in terms of basketball and now football. What attracted you to Teurlings, looking back at it in the first place?
Honestly, I was on a Nichols basketball coaching staff that was about to get fired, and I tried to beat him to the punch, and I was assistant coach then at that time. And Bruce Baudier, who's a lifelong friend of mine, was a principal before Mike Boyer at Teurlings, and had a job opening. Jack Dale DeLone was retiring, and I followed the legend as a basketball coach at Teurlings. And everybody knows him now, and Brobridge is Mayor DeLone, but he's still a coach to me. But that's how I ended up in Lafayette, with the idea of not staying too long. I had young kids, and 28 years later, we're still here.
And a lot of success. And I know every one of your teams is special to you in their own way. I mean, you see kids come in at 14, 15-year-olds, and then they leave as young men. Some of them 18 years old. I know I was 18 when I graduated. But is now the consistency of your success, does that make it even more special?
It makes it special just to see young boys come in and turn into young men. We're fortunate and blessed to have I know everybody says that, but we really truly do have great kids, and it's an example of where they're coming from at home. We have guys that aren't afraid to work hard, and we have some overachievers. We have some guys that really understand what it's all about, and we have a lot of guys that make that sacrifice, not only in football, but in all sports at Teurlings Catholic, and just as students. And it's very enjoyable to see them have success. You want them to have memories that last a lifetime, because those are things that your high school memories is stuff. I was listening at the table earlier, and I had one of my parents was talking about his high school careers to the Abear twins over there, and that's those things you never forget. You're always gonna relive them, and you want them to be special.
this year's team. You haven't, Friday night notwithstanding, you have an outstanding, campaign so far. A lot of big wins. How do you feel about this team heading into Week 10 of the regular season?
We're very excited about this group. Like you said, Karen Crow, hats off to them. They played a well of a game. We felt like we helped them a little bit, but that's water under the bridge now, and we really look moving forward. We got a Thursday night ball game against Opelousas High School, who's struggling right now, but we're looking forward to the playoffs. We'll wait and see where the numbers fall and see where they send us, but we think we're going to be a tough out.
You always elect to play a tough, non-district schedule, and then it just so happens that most of the districts you've been in have been very good. You told me something 3-4 years ago that, I asked you, is that to get your team ready for the postseason? And you said, yeah, but it's also about competition. You like your kids to compete on a week in, week out basis. I take it, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I take it that you think that if they learn how to compete week by week, it doesn't matter who they're playing against, they're going to play pretty much at top level.
I think so. I think expectations are important, and I think athletics, as you touched on earlier, Mr. Boyer, is about life lessons, and you got to learn how to wake up every day and compete, in the real world. And I don't think you look for the easy way out. And the only way you can measure yourself is by playing good people and getting better. And if it, sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But it's not about wins and losses. It's about really trying to compete. And if you're good enough, you're going to win. If you're not, then you'll go back to the drawing board and see what's wrong and line up again and see what happens.
I know I'm kind of partial because I'm from here and I cover athletics around here, but high school football around, there really are good teams and there really are great athletes and there really are great coaches. I mean, when you look at this area, I think you can pretty much compare it to, Texas or really every area in the country. I mean, high school football in this area about as good as it gets.
I think so. I think, it's important to people in Louisiana, South Louisiana in particular, and, we make no bones about it. I think, as Mr. Boyer said, it's your front page, but I've been in schools where football team wasn't successful, and it kind of sets the tone for your whole school year. And just, today we walked around school on a Monday. I know the weather was dreary, but after a loss, it was kind of like a morgue, and it's kind of like you got to rebuild and look forward to the next one and get that taste out of your mouth. But it is important, and there's nothing wrong with that.
I've always liked watching your teams play, and I think that your offensive system was been innovative before kind of innovative was cool, so to speak. Back in quote unquote the old days, it used to be everybody used to line up in the I formation, and they used to pound the tailback at everybody, and now it seems like everybody, not only around here, everybody in the country is using spread offenses. But you've implemented a kind of different style of offense. You're really from a long time ago. Was that something that that you decided to do when you first took over, or was that something that you decided to do because of your talent? How'd that transpire?
I think it's the talent. I think we had back then when we had guys that could throw it and catch it, and. You try to put your guys in position to be successful, and I just think it's kind of evolved over the years. And we would prefer to be able to line up and run it every down, like Notre Dame. It's a little bit easier, more predictable. But the whole saying about when you throw it, put it in the air, 3 things can happen and 2 are bad. But most of the time, we've had guys that can throw it and can catch it, and I find it a little harder to prepare for sometimes. But we like to run it too.
I know. And your job, of course, is not to keep everybody else happy. Your job is to win football games. But
right.
But do you take a little, special pride in the fact that a lot of just football fans, not necessarily fans of Teurlings or anything, but just football fans like watching your team play?
Well, we like when people come out to watch us play because that's $7 a pop.
There you go.
But now with the advent of TV and everything, we've been on TV a few times, and I think it hurts the crowds. But overall, it's fun to hear that, and I think it's fun for the kids. And we have those type of athletes that the offense kind of suits itself.
No doubt about it. Now, before I let you go, tell us a little bit about the young man that we're going to be talking to here. Zeb Burley, offensive lineman, and a pretty good one. Give me your thoughts on him.
Well, Zeb's one of my favorite guys because he took him all the way to his senior year to start listening to me. I brought him in the office, I think when he was a sophomore. I said, Zeb, why don't you come play some offensive line? no, sir, I'd rather stay on the defensive side. And then as a junior, I did the same thing, and he stuck to his guns. He wanted to, and I think finally, after the third time was a charm, and he said, yes, sir. And I think it's been a great move for both of us. He's doing a great job for us at right guard. He's doing, he lost about 50 pounds, I think, in the process from last year. Gotten slim and fit and moves pretty good for a big guy. But he's having a whale of a senior year.
No doubt about it. Coach Sonny Charpentier, thanks for joining us here this evening. Appreciate your time as always, my friend.
Thank you, Steve. Appreciate you.
That's Sonny Charpentier, the head coach of the Teurlings Catholic Rebels. We now want to welcome in Zeb Burley, right guard, as we give the headsets to Zeb. First off, losing, what did Coach say, 50, 60 pounds? That's a lot of weight loss. Was that something that, I mean, how difficult was that to do, mentally? I mean, when you first decided to do it, was it something that you said, man, am I going to be able to do this?
I knew it was going to be hard, but it wasn't that bad once I started. And I'm glad I did it.
What was some of the stuff that you did other than the obvious, which is working out? I mean, what? Give me your typical day in terms of a diet.
Chicken breast.
That's
about it.
Now, what about the transformation from defense to offense? Was that something that you had to decide that you were going to do mentally before it became a success?
It was a little bit of both, but I always loved defense growing up, and it was different at first, but I'm glad I moved to offense.
Now, tell me about a little bit about yourself. What do you see yourself doing 15, 20 years from now? I know you're still a young man. I'm not going to hold you down to anything, but if you had to pick a career path right now, where do you see yourself going?
I plan to go to college for business and open up a business one day, hopefully.
What about football? Were you a football fan growing up?
Yes, sir. I've always loved football.
Okay, now in terms of professional team, did you have a favorite?
Saints.
Saints.
Yes, sir.
Are you a good man? What about individual players growing up? I mean, was there any? Do you have any favorite players?
Not really. I like Drew Brees. That's about it.
No, I understand. You kind of a team guy.
Yes, sir.
You know
definitely.
what I'm talking about. Give me your favorite class of Teurlings.
Favorite class.
History? So that was always a history guy.
I'm sorry. History's a pretty good class. Yes, sir. I've always loved history.
See, if I teach it, you'd like it.
Absolutely.
What about? Give me something what you do on Friday that people might consider like superstitious, but you just consider it being, I don't know, call it rhythm, call it whatever. But is there something that you have to do on a Friday, or in some cases a Thursday, that you don't feel properly prepared to do the game, whether it be listening to a certain song or eating a certain food? Is there kind of a superstition that you have?
We like to jam out in the locker room before games to get pumped up. That's one of our things we like to do.
Has it dawned on you yet that your high school career is coming a little bit to an end? Does it feel like it was just yesterday that it just started for you?
Oh, absolutely. It's definitely going by very fast.
Any special memories that come out of your career, either your first game or your first tackle? What jumps to mind when I ask you what's your the most memorable game that comes to your mind?
Beating STM.
Okay.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. Those are always big games. They're always fun. So you're a business guy.
Yes, sir.
15, 20 years from now, be running your own business, and it might be teaching people how to lose 50, 60 pounds over the course of the summer. How proud of you were you really about yourself? Once the summer was over, because obviously, I'm sure you had help, but you're the one that wound up doing the work. People could push you into a certain direction, tell you what to eat, how to work out, but ultimately you had to do the work. Did you feel kind of instant gratification for yourself?
A little bit, but it was a lot of the coaches that helped us with the workouts and stuff. They do a good job with getting us prepared and getting us in shape.
Did you feel it almost immediately once you dropped the weight? In other words, could you tell that maybe your feet were quicker?
Oh, definitely.
That you had more stamina? You could almost tell automatically right off the bat.
no doubt.
So give me a typical diet for you right now. I mean, are you tired of chicken breast?
Yeah, it gets old. During football season, get home from practicing, pretty hungry, but I've been eating pretty normal lately, just watching certain things, but not too serious.
I understand. Well, you know, you got the week 10 of the regular season coming up, and then the in the playoffs. But I know that Coach Charpentier teaches everybody that the next game is the most important, so you can't look too far ahead. But it's been a fun year right now. You guys have put yourself in a position to have a really special type of campaign. So you got to be really excited about not only this game coming up, but also the playoffs ahead.
Absolutely.
No doubt about it. I appreciate you coming on here, Zeb. Congratulations on a great career so far. Congratulations on the weight loss. And when you open up that business, I'll go visit you.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it. Thank
Zeb
you.
Burley, everybody, give him a hand. Teurlings Catholic senior right guard. We appreciate him. We appreciate Principal Boyer. We appreciate Coach Charpentier for coming out and joining us this morning. It's the Acadiana Postgame Coaches Show from the Mellow Mushroom, corner of Johnson Street and Ducey Road. Gerald Broussard will rejoin me. Got a lot of things to go over, including our power polls for the NFL and college football, our heroes and zeros of the week. All that coming up as the Acadiana Postgame Coaches Show continues. ESPN 1420, ESPN1420.com.